Hello, everyone. Happy holidays. Trust you've had a wonderful time of celebration. Today, um, we'll be looking at perspectives. Grateful to God for bringing us to the end of the year 2025. And as we go into the year 2026, I would want us to consider this critically. Perspectives. You know, they say there are different sides to a coin, and there are different angles to every situation. Looking at this, the story of the blind man in the Bible comes to mind readily. When the disciples asked Jesus, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents that was born blind? Can you imagine? Perspective. You know, they just felt somebody must have sinned for this person to be born, to be birthed blind. But Jesus shocked them and said, neither this man nor his parents sinned, but that the works of God should be revealed in him. And then, we come to the story of the woman caught in adultery, and they were actually ready to stone her to death. Can you imagine? It's the only one person that commits adultery, but it was only her that was caught, which was one-sided already and not so fair. And so they were trying to put Jesus through to test, but Jesus was able to handle the situation because he had a different perspective from what they were trying to achieve. He knew their hearts. He knew everybody's hearts. And then we go on to the story of the Prophet Hosea, that God specifically told to go and take a wife for himself of harlotry and children of harlotry. If it were in this age and generation, wow, the whole social media platforms will be upside down agog with this story. How can he? And he calls himself a man of God. This, and that. A lot of energy is going to go into this. But funny enough, it was God that asked him to do that for a bigger picture. And then the story of Joseph, the father of Jesus, he was actually justified. The law supported him to stone or disown Mary for getting pregnant, outside. He wasn't responsible for the pregnancy. But in this story also, we know clearly that it was the hand of God. And the Lord said that what was happening was a miracle. And it was his. And so that Joseph should still marry Mary. This is also interesting. Just like a lot of other stories we have going on around. And, it simply doesn't add up a lot of times. And it's because we don't have the whole story. And there are usually multiple perspectives to every situation. Whatever you've heard may just be a tiny percentage. It may even be like 1% of the situation. And then, people will just escalate it and make a big deal out of it. So a lot of times what we see and are judging may not be the true picture. It may be a lie presented as truth. It may be our assumption based on perception or experience, our personal experience. We just assume that because it is 1 and 1, it must equal to whatever. It could be a misunderstanding of a situation from not grasping the concept of what is going on, just like disciples asking Jesus, because they just felt that someone must have sinned for him to be born blind. So they just could not grasp that. It was all for God's glory. Sometimes also, when we haven't gone through a situation, we cannot fully understand or grasp what is going on. We just try to interpret things from our own experience, from our own lenses. And usually in life, things aren't always the way it seems. Whatever you may be holding on to and, going all over the place about may just be 1%, 0%, may just be 10%, 5%, and it's not the true picture. So it's just even so good as much as possible to stay off judgment, because what you have at hand may not be the true or whole picture. So in the new year, it's important to focus on your focus. Please put all the energy into building you. And when you hear things that are off, if you can, pray for them. If they are within reach and you can support and help, please do, instead of standing to judge, or because you really don't have the true perspective. Yeah, thank you very much. So this is just all that our conversation is about today. I wish you a happy new year as you go into 2026. Remember, please focus on your focus. Thank you.